Hey, in this video, I'm going to show you how to use our industry financial data tool. You may not know this, but the IRS every year publishes tax return data, aggregate tax return data on the millions of small businesses that file tax returns each year. And so we took this publicly available data and we cleaned it up and formatted it and got it into this dashboard where you can actually really use this in your own process of creating financial projections, or maybe you're reviewing a set of financial statements from a business that you might want to purchase. There's lots of different use cases for how you might want to use this industry data, but I'm going to walk through what data we have, show you a couple use cases and how you can use this free tool. So we've pulled this together, put this dashboard and made it available for free to you. If you want to look at the link in the description of the video below, it'll take you to a page where you can sign up to get access to this tool for free and use it for your own business. Let me show you how this works. So the first thing we want to do, let's say we're going to start a restaurant business, and maybe we know what our expenses should be for the first year or two as we're starting this restaurant. We have pretty good line of sight to figure out, okay, this is what we think we're going to spend. But as we grow, we don't really know how our expenses might grow. And so what we really want to be able to do is grow our expenses with the industry averages. We just want to use industry averages. We're not trying to do anything special here. And so what we want to be able to see is, let's look at industry averages for restaurants. So I'm going to find restaurants from this list here. And what that's going to do is just sort the 46 million tax returns that we started out with and get that down to 487,000 tax returns for restaurant businesses. Now, this is going to show you some high level averages. First thing I'm seeing here, look at that. 3.4% net profit margin. So we know that restaurants tend to be low profit margin businesses, and this kind of demonstrates that. We can see gross profit margins of 60%, meaning your cost of goods sold is going to be right at 40% on average. And then you can see the expense breakdown over here on the right side of all the different kind of expense categories for restaurants and what percentage of revenue they spend on each item. They spend 1.37% of revenue on insurance, for example. And so what we're able to do here is we can look at our restaurant projection template. So I've pulled up our fast casual restaurant projection template here. And one of the first things you can look at is, once you've filled this out, you'd look at your gross profit and say, okay, the industry average is 60%. And the numbers we have in here right now are showing, by the end of year 5, 46% gross profit margin. So we're below industry average on our gross profit. But then we notice the net income, we're at 12, 15, 19, and 21%. So we're actually above the industry average on the net profit margin. So this might, if you were to send this to a lender and the lenders have industry data, they're going to look at that and say, something seems off here. So they'd probably want to dig into that more. Now, what I would suggest is on our input other expenses tab, so I've got this set up to give you an example. Let's say in the first 2 years, you have a pretty good idea of what you're going to spend each month on different expense categories. So for the first 2 years, we've entered in specific dollar amounts that we expect each month. But then maybe for years 3 through 5, we don't really know what these expenses are going to look like. Things may change if the business grows. These expenses might grow in lockstep with the business. And so we could remove that. And I've got set up down here a few different expense categories: sales and marketing, general and admin, and building expenses. So 3 overarching categories. And so what I might do is take a look at all of the expenses in this expense breakdown here in this list, and I might lump them into those 3 overarching categories and add up those percentages. And so I might find out that, okay, on average, these restaurants are spending 15% on sales and marketing, 18% on general and admin, and maybe 12% on building expenses. And so you could enter those in as 0.15, 0.18, and so on for percentage. And since we've selected from this drop-down percentage of revenue, what that's going to do in the model is allow us to just follow those industry averages for expenses. So you can see when we did that, because our gross profit isn't where it needs to be, we are now showing a loss. So again, in this example, what I would do is go back to the drawing board and say, okay, is my direct labor off? are my material or food costs out of whack? Why are they so high when the industry averages are much lower? And that's going to help you after you've done your projections and you've given it your best effort on what you think is going to happen. I really encourage you to take a look at this tool. It's free. Look up your industry, compare your projections to what these industry averages are. And I think that's going to help you avoid maybe some embarrassment in presenting something to a lender that just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So hope that's been helpful. If you want to grab this dashboard, go down to the description of the video below and we'll link to that. And also, as a thank you for watching this video, we will put a link to a form where you can get a discount. If you fill out the form, you'll get a discount code to use on a projection template. We've got about 100 different industry-specific projection templates that you can use to create your projections and then compare it with industry averages. So we hope that's been helpful. If you have any questions, reach out to us at support@projectionhub.com. Thanks.